Hello, my dear viewers. Hope you all are fine. So, today we will discuss about the 8th class of your Unit 3. That is your early warning system in disaster management. So, this is Dr. Sudha and I welcome you all to this educational video which is basically based on your AECC1 Environment Study and Disaster Management for all B.Sc, BCom and BA students of first semester. Okay, and it will also help the students for appearing the competitive examinations because these are the basic things that you will appear in your all competitive examinations after your graduation. Okay, and so as I told you that this compulsory paper is of 100 marks comprising of two examination. One is the internal examination, another is the term examination or your university examination of 20 marks and 80 marks respectively. Okay, so in all the colleges the internal examination perhaps going on for first semester students, or in some colleges that will come in near future. Okay, within 1 month. So you all should learn these papers of your early warning AECC1 environment study and disaster management. So till yet I have completed the up to your unit 2, and it is the 8th class of your unit 3, and according to the syllabus every part is covered in this channel. So this is a permanent solution for you regarding your early warnings, means your AECC1 environment study and disaster management paper. Okay, so you will find some important set of questions along with your previous year questions and your all the aspects as shown in your unit 1 to unit 4. Okay, so now we are in unit 3. It will cover in another 4 classes. After that we will come to unit 4. Okay, so without any further delay, let us discuss what do we mean by early warning system in disaster management. So before going to the discussion, I would like to talk about that if you are new to this channel, or you are watching this channel previously but till yet you have not subscribed my channel, so please subscribe the channel and share among your friends so that they can also be benefited. Okay, and so in near future you will all have to complete your unit 1 perhaps in every college for attending your internal examination. So you will get everything in this my playlist, and there are separate videos for Odia medium and English medium, and unit wise also separate playlist, so you can watch from that playlist also. You will get every content from YouTube search also. Okay, so now let us discuss about what do we mean by early warning system. So before discussion, it will take 20 to 25 minutes. So you just see what we will discuss in this entire video. So what is early warning system, then characteristics of early warning system, then early warning systems for each and every disasters like earthquake, then flood, then your cyclones. Okay, then your tsunami, then your these are some important your disasters. Hence we will cover these disasters and how early warning system is working. Okay, so now let us see what is early warning system, that is symbolized as EWS. Okay, so you all have seen this mark. Where there is danger or there is some warning systems given, this symbol is used, isn't it? You will find it in different industries, in your roadside, in your different sensitive areas. Okay, so early warning system. Early means what? Early means before taking the or before happening of the disasters, we are able to know that some disaster will hit. Okay, prior to its happening, that is early. Early means before. So an early warning system can be defined as a set of capacities needed to generate and disseminate timely and meaningful warning information of the possible extreme events of disasters. Extreme events means when there will be severe intensity in flood, drought, fire, earthquake, tsunami. So everything I told is the example of one disaster, isn't it? So uh, that threatens people's lives. So why we require early warning system? Because you know that disaster, whatever type it may be natural disaster, it may be anthropogenic disaster, but it affects the lives and property. Hence, if we will get proper early warning, then a great amount of life and property can be saved from destruction, isn't it? And what is the purpose? So the purpose of this information is to enable individuals, communities and organizations threatened to prepare and act appropriately and in sufficient time to reduce the possibility of harm, loss of risk. Okay. So I think that up to this point, you all are clear, isn't it? If any doubt, then you ask me in my chat box. Okay. Then next, what is the characteristics of early warning system? So an effective early warning systems require strong technical foundations and good knowledge of the risk. If someone or some organization or some system has no knowledge about the risk, then it is too much difficult to aware or give the early warning. Okay, but they must be strongly people centered with clear messages, dissemination systems. Okay, so early warning system should be people centered. It is one important thing that people centered means the warning should be people centered, means it is should focus the people, how to save the life and property of the people. Okay, then next is your public awareness and education are critical. In addition, many sectors must be involved. Then effective early warning systems must be embedded in an understandable manner and relevant to the communities which they serve. Okay, so these are important characteristics of early warning system. So my dear viewers, you do one thing, that you just keep your pen and paper aside and just make your notes from these materials, because I have collected these materials from different sources, so it will help you a lot for preparing your own note that you will refer in your examination. Okay, so there are different agencies, they are responsible for forecasting. Forecasting means forecast the warning. Okay, so for cyclone, you know that cyclone is one disaster, isn't it? It is one meteorological disaster, a natural disaster. Okay, so the agency responsible for forecasting is Indian Meteorological Department, that is abbreviated by IMD. Okay, And in our state, IMD is located at Bhubaneswar, isn't it? So for tsunami, the agency responsible for forecasting is Indian National Center for Oceanic Information Service. So what do we mean by tsunami? You all know that when earthquake takes place below the ocean, then what happens? Ocean water, tides, waves of many feet generate due to the vibration below the water level, okay, caused due to the earthquake. That's why your tsunami comes. Then flood is another hydrological disaster, and the agency responsible for forecasting is your Central Water Commission. Then earthquake, Indian Meteorological Department is responsible for forecasting. Okay. Then come to the earthquake and its early warning system. So earthquake early warning systems use earthquake signs and the technology of monitoring systems to alert devices and people when shaking waves generated by an earthquake are expected to arrive at their location. Okay. So in earthquake, what happens? You see here. Let me enlarge the screen. Okay, you see here. So here, suppose below the earth surface, one eye is generated. Means that is known as focus point. Okay. And from this point, your waves will be generated. Okay. And earthquake waves, according to its movement type, it is known as L wave. Okay. Then S wave, P wave. Okay. In this way, the waves moves. Okay. From its starting point. So it will arrive in its location. Suppose here there are some constructions, something or some lives properties are there. Hence, the time taken to come up to this point, okay, and it will occur within very fraction of times, isn't it? Hence, what happens? For this purpose, or your USA California developed a machine called Shake Alert, that is known as Shake Alert, which gives the exact time of arrival of shaking to the stations. Okay, means that Shake Alert is one device made by your USA California, and through that Shake Alert machine, someone or some country can guess the exact time period of the arrival of this wave, which is generated at this point, and to reach up to the location. Okay. Then with the help of this technology, we can save so many lives and also reduce damage to building to some extent, isn't it? So this is, although earthquake is not predictable, it is a sudden happenings, but by this machine, up to some level, you are able to guess the your exact arrival of shaking of the your this earthquake. Then a user receives a message like this on the screen of his computer. This type message. Here are some messages. So on your screen, this is the Shake Alert. So here the message, it is visible, perhaps not, but I am trying at my best. Okay, how it will be visible to you? Yeah. So here it is written that on your screen, it will appear that real-time tracking of seismic waves from quake's epicenter. So this is known as quake's epicenter, exactly where the earthquake originates. It is epicenter. Okay, I or focus point and epicenter. Then the real time tracking of the fault rupture updates intensity. Fault rupture means there are different plates, joining of plates, and where there will be some weak uh, point will found between the joint or in the joint place of the two plates, that is known as fault. Then third thing that it will appear on the screen of your computer, that is your current location tracked by GPS, where exactly the epicenter is located. Okay, then seconds remaining before seismic waves reach you, even if the data is given in seconds. Okay, so expected intensity of quake at your current location, because you know that earthquake are of different having different intensity, severe intensity. It is measured in the what, in your Richter scale, isn't it? And magnitude is measured in Mercalli scale. Okay, so then estimated magnitude of earthquake, then intensity scale. So in this way, such an message will appear on the screen of the computer, where shake alert machine will be used. Okay, so this is used for early warning system. Then the message alerts the user to how many seconds before the shaking waves arrives at their location and the expected intensity of shaking at that site. Okay, then the warning message also displays a map with the location of the epicenter. What is an epicenter? I already told that the magnitude of the quake and the current position of the P and S wave. So I told you that different types of wave are there. P means primary wave, S means secondary wave. Okay, so this is about your earthquake. Okay, early warning system in earthquake. Now let us discuss about the flood. What happens during the flood, how early warning system is given. So a typical flood warning system includes a number of items, including automated sensors which are placed in or beside rivers and reservoirs throughout a designated area. Okay, so here in case of flood, suppose any district in Odisha, for example, in Cuttack district is very much prone to flood. So we know that flood is one usual disaster which often come to our district. Hence, in this early warning system, what will be done? That one automated sensor will be placed in the or beside the river. So the rivers responsible for making flood in Cuttack district is your Mahanadi, Kattajodi rivers. So in these rivers or beside the rivers, a sensor will be placed and reserve in the river basins or reservoirs also throughout a designated area. Then data is then collected and sent immediately to a base station or personal computer. Okay, so these are how the working principle of your early warning system. For first one was about your earthquake, this one is for flood. Okay, so in this way, appropriate forecasts are sent to authorities or communities of those potentially affected by the developing flood as soon as possible. Okay, so look here into the graph. It is shown that okay, so there is one flood warning. Okay, flood warning, then your response. So in flood warning, you have detection. Okay, so by meteorological monitoring, then forecasting through meteorological monitoring, then threshold means the severity when to issue a warning. Okay, because the observation will be done by the meteorological department before the arrival of the so-called flood, but when warning will be given, that depends upon the threshold of the situation. If that will not be a major case, then the meteorological department need not want to give any warning. Okay, so warning will be given to the community when there will be one emergency situation or threshold limit will arrive. Okay, then after that warning dissemination means warning will be given through news channels or through different electronic medias, through newspapers. So then comes your preparedness. When warning arises means then comes your preparedness, means the meteorological department, the government administration, everyone will be prepared. The community level people, they will also prepare. Emergency planning, public awareness, everything will be organized. Okay, then in this preparedness comes your response, in which contingency plans will come, then recovery. Okay, then your review. So all these are coming in your response. Okay, page. Then there floods sometimes or many times floods occur only due to your increase of water level, but sometimes flood also occur due to melting of ice. Okay, because you all know that water, a vast quantity of water is present in the solid form, that is called as ice, in Arctic regions. Okay, or we can say at polar regions. Okay, so due to global warming, this ice is melting nowadays. Okay, so sometimes due to the in rainy means in summer season, what happens, due to the sudden increase of temperature, the ice cap that melts. Hence when ice will melt, that will turn to water or liquid form. Hence when a great quantity of ice will melt, then it will produce a large or huge quantity of water, and it will increase the sea level, isn't it, or any water body level. So the community based flood early warning system is used in Hindukush Himalayan region, which is one of the most dynamic and complex mountain system in the world, we know. Okay, and it is also extremely fragile and sensitive to the effects of climate change. And one of the effects of climate change is the formation of meltwater lakes on the lower section of glaciers in the Himalayan region, as I told. Okay, and because such lakes are inherently unstable and subject to catastrophic flood surges, they are potential sources of danger to people and property in the valley below them. Okay, so what is the solution to this problem? So the wireless system. Now this is the warning system, how this situation can be eradicated. So before happening of this flood due to melting of ice, the wireless system manages flood or flash flood risk by providing early warnings to downstream communities. Okay, and enhances cooperation between upstream and downstream communities in the sharing of flood information. Otherwise, if there will be no sharing of data, then the downstream people, they cannot able to know the exact situation that is happening in the upstream, and at any time the downstream people may face trouble due to flash flood. Okay, So this solution consists of two units. One is transmitter, another is receiver. These are all your warning systems. And the transmitter is installed along the river bank and the receiver is installed at a house near the river. Okay. So this is the early warning system used for eradicating the flood due to melting of ice. Then come to another points are there. So a flood sensor attached to the transmitter detects rising water levels, and when the water reaches a critical level, a signal is wirelessly transmitted to the receiver, and the flood warning is then disseminated via mobile phone to concerned agencies and vulnerable communities. Those are present in downstream region. Okay. Then critical flood levels are set with the help of local community. So these are the early warning system used for your flood arises due to melting of ice. Then come to the cyclone. So you know what do we mean by cyclone. So earlier detection of cyclones would be beneficial in many areas, and earlier notice would give the public more time to prepare for a potential future threat, isn't it? And earlier detection allows scientists more time to plan research missions into storms, and the research applications, it also allows the study of determining what promotes tropical cyclogenesis, and the detection algorithm describes herein is based on vorticity, okay, or vorticity. There is one cyclone scatterometer, okay, scatterometer. What is this? Let us discuss. So scatterometer are unique among satellite remote sensors in their ability to determine surface wind speed and direction. Okay, this is one important thing, that scatterometer are unique among satellite remote sensors. So it is one type of satellite remote sensor. Remote sensor means that can generate data without touching uh, the object. Okay. So microwaves are scattered by short water waves, that is known as capillary and ultra gravity waves, which respond quickly to changes in winds. And the backscatter cross section, the fraction of transmitted energy that returns to the satellite, is a function of wind speed and wind direction relative to the orientation of the scatterometers. Okay. Then scatterometers actually determine equivalent neutral wind speeds at a height of 10 meter above the local mean water surface, which differ from wind speeds that would be measured by anemometers after adjustment to a height of 10 meter. Okay. So these are very simply defined. I think you are not facing any trouble to understand these things. Okay. If you face any problem at any step, you please let me know in the comment section, and I will try to um, explain it more and more. Okay. Then come to tsunami warning system. So a tsunami warning system is used to detect tsunamis in advance and issue warnings to prevent loss of life and damage to property. Okay. And it is made up of two equally important components: a network of sensors to detect tsunamis and a communications infrastructure to issue timely alarms to permit evacuation of the coastal areas. Okay. And there are two distinct types of tsunami warning systems: international and regional. Okay, two types. Then when operating seismic alerts are used to instigate the watches and warnings, then data from observed sea level height, either shore based tide gauges or dart buoys, okay, are used to verify the existence of a tsunami. Other systems have been proposed to augment the warning procedures. Okay, so these are the tsunami warning system. Then types of detectors normally used. What are the detectors used for tsunami warning system? One is tidal gauge. Then second is deep ocean assessment and report of tsunami, that is known as DART. Okay, what is exactly written here? That is DART. Okay, so what is that? Tidal gauge. So a sensor network is used to record measurements of changes in sea levels. A general working principle involves water traveling through a bottom pipe hooked to electronic sensors and that are designed to measure the height of this water passing through. Okay, and a GPS system is also used for measuring tidal water levels. Water enters the tide gauge through a bottom pipe. This is the technology used in tidal gauge. What happens actually in a tidal gauge? So actually what happens? Water enters the tidal gauge through a bottom pipe. Okay, there is a pipe, okay, located at the bottom. So through the bottom pipe, the water enters and the water level is measured using electronic sensors. Usually sensor is GPS here. So the device consists of two antennas and receivers, one pointing to zenith and the other pointed down towards the sea surface. Okay, the former antenna tracks the direct signal and the latter traps the reflected signal from the water surface. The interference between the direct and reflected signals can be determined by the signal to noise ratio data. Okay, this is about your tidal gauge. Then what is deep ocean assessment and reporting of tsunamis? That is DART. So deep ocean assessment and reporting of tsunamis, that is DART, is a component of an enhanced tsunami warning system. And by logging changes in sea floor temperature and pressure and transmitting the data via a surface buoy to a ground station by satellite. And that enables instant accurate tsunami forecast. And in standard mode, the system logs the data at 15 minutes intervals and in event mode every 15 seconds. Okay. So there are two modes. One is standard mode, another is your event mode. So in standard mode, the system logs the data at 15 minutes interval and in event mode at every 15 seconds. So a two-way communication system allows the ground station to switch data into event mode whenever detailed reports are needed. Okay, so these are all about the instruments or detectors used for tsunami alert or tsunami pre-warning system. Then the last thing is your about what is dart buoys and coast tide gauge. That tide gauge, here I discussed about the tidal gauge. So it is the tidal gauge. Look to the picture, it is the tidal gauge. Okay, and dart buoys, this is the dart buoys. Okay, these are two pictures. You need not be worried about the picture because you are the compulsory students, only you have to know the basics. You need not worried about the pictures and everything. You need not to draw the pictures, okay, for your paper. but for your understanding purpose I have just uploaded the picture that what the coastal tidal gauge is, how it looks, okay, and what is exactly the that we use. So what everything we have discussed, this is the pictures, okay. This is the pipe through which your water enters, what we discussed in this tidal gauge, okay. So these were all for today's lecture, okay. And I think you are very much capable to understand this discussion today. And if any doubt, then please comment me in the comment section, and I will try at my best to clear all your doubts if you will have, okay. And now um, we will meet in our next video with another content of your this AECC1 environment study and disaster paper, okay. And before leaving, I will definitely would like to request you again to please subscribe the channel, and please give me some motivation, my dear students. I want some motivation. Please give me that motivation through liking and sharing and subscribing my channel. So bye and take care. Okay, bye bye for today.